Okay, welcome back to the Ipswich View. We've got Iain back with us. My first question, Iain, to you is: have you been in a ground and seen a better goal live than the one that you sat and saw on Saturday?
I was literally straight in line behind the goal with that, and it was just amazing to see that come off at Trevello. And I always rated like Magilton scoring against Bolton Wanderers in the playoff final as the best goal I've seen at Portland Road, but I think that just eclipsed it. Yeah.
I've watched it back on YouTube. I love goals like that.
Yeah.
What we haven't said anything about is of course the build up to it.
Oh yeah.
The switch from the back four to one side to the other is just sublime to start it off, and then it's Coventry I think contributed to just sitting and watching it. But and I thought it's one of those goals that when they go in, there's that brief second of silence. For the crowd is that disbelief of what they've seen.
The audacity of him to even try. I mean, I was like, I don't think he's got a left foot, and then he puts it on his right foot. Well, he doesn't need a left foot. There we go. So yeah, it was one of those rare moments at that level that is normally just reserved for the kind of elite players around the world. So, fair play to Wes Burns to try that, even though he did get roasted by the manager afterwards for not using his left foot. But there you go. That's McKenna's prerogative.
All right, we're going to talk then about Ipswich's run coming in. You're heading into now your the period we've spoken about before, which is really, really going to test him. We're going to talk about George Hurst, a little bit of Nathan Broadhead, and also how sick are you of people putting Ipswich down. Let's start there. Social media, Twitter, I'm sure in work as well, people saying to you this won't last, the bubble will burst. But you've been hearing that now for about 9 weeks, and it isn't bursting. And the West Brom game aside, which just happened to be on TV, there are the sofa fans that are saying, "Oh, Leeds and Southampton are playing well," but my goodness, Ipswich are a side to watch, aren't they, at the moment? I mean, I bore myself with superlatives for just how good your side are. Are they boring you with just how brilliant they are at the moment?
I was listening back to some of our other contributors on these podcasts, and to hear someone saying it's just not good enough. It's just not good enough. I can't remember the last time I had to say that about an Ipswich team. The last 2 years has been, well, probably the last 2.5 years. When McKenna came towards the end of the season where we didn't get promoted, even then you could see something special was being created, and it's just been people probably get fed up with Ipswich fans on social media, but it's just been a wonderful ride, non-stop for 2 years of really pleasing football. All kind of tribal instincts to one side. It's just pleasing to see a football team where all the players are really enjoying their game as well, which is what's great to see.
I mean, even the hardest, even the hard Norwich fans would have to have a little ounce of kind of Ipswich deserve this, because if you think about what's happened in the past, I mean, the uncertainty of administration, the joy of being sold to Marcus Evans only to realise that there's nothing but a bit of a tax break for him, the ground falling apart, awful managers, journeyman players looking for a paycheck, and then relegation struggling there, and then McKenna coming along. I mean, do you know what? Even as a neutral, Ipswich deserve this, don't they?
I feel sorry for some of the managers. Some of the managers on our way have done good things, but it's been lost in the kind of clutter of a poorly run team as a whole. And I think if you look at Paul Cook, he brought in a large number of the players that McKenna has still got. I mean, we're thinking like Wes Burns, for example. So what's been missing has been the McKenna piece of the jigsaw, and it really has been the glue that's brought it all together, created this ethos across the team. And there are even Norwich fans saying, I have as much as it pains me, I have to say you're doing well. And that's, we've had pain for the last 12 years of a poor team, so our turn to rinse it.
Okay. So we've got Middlesbrough away then this week, and then the run. Norwich, we'll be discussing that very shortly on this channel. Leicester, Leeds, Watford away. I mean, I don't think you could have asked for a trickier 5 games coming up. Is the squad fit, and how are we with injuries, ready to cope with what's going to be a real test of that those promotion credentials?
I think injury-wise we're okay. We're in a good place there. The worry is, I think, is it next week is the reset on yellow cards. We've got a couple of players who were close to that, so they're going to. I think Luongo actually misses out Saturday because of suspension. We've got Sam Morsey is quite close to getting to the higher total, so I think the reset for him is in a few more weeks. So really for us, it will be about key players avoiding getting yellow cards for anything other than an absolute must-make foul, because that really is where the pain comes in. I think there's depth in the squad now. Twanzebe has established himself. He came off a really bad back injury when we bought him from Manchester. Well, we got him from Manchester United for free. But against Millwall, he was flawless, and it'd be great to see him back in the team as well. So maybe on Saturday he'll make an appearance.
Okay. Just finally then, is George Hurst the best centre forward in the division right now?
He does so much selfless football, by creating plays, holding up the ball, drawing the defender. A lot of strikers would probably complain that they don't get enough goals and they don't get enough of the action. I think he understands his place in the team. He seems to be enjoying it. He got a fairly decent finish on Saturday for the first goal. Is he the best striker in the division? Probably not. I mean, there are a number of really good strikers. It seems to be in the Championship, though, that the majority of the better goal scorers are coming from a more attacking midfield area, which is probably just tipping your hat to the really good tactics that are played across the teams at this level. There is not many opportunities for strikers to get high goal tallies in the Championship, and as we've seen.
Okay, let's have a word then on your FA Cup tie. What was your thoughts on the draw?
Potentially 2 banana skins. It looks like it's going to be Wimbledon away, which again is they're a decent little club. I think we should put them to the sword. A cup run is always a good thing for the team. McKenna might disagree, might say let's just focus on getting promoted. But we did okay in the Carabao. Obviously, we went out eventually to a very good Fulham team. But yeah, I mean, we'll just have to see how it goes. It's one of those games that doesn't really have much to talk about. Wimbledon away potentially is not the most glamorous of cup ties.
No, you would have preferred a nice trip to Ramsgate, I'm sure, instead.
Yeah, I think Ramsgate would have been, or maybe another local team at home. Home fixtures are the way ahead.
Yeah, you know what Colchester do? Wasn't there some aggro?
Yeah.
Last time. Okay, let's talk about Middlesbrough then. Michael Carrick's team at home have had some good results. They obviously beat Leicester amongst them and didn't do too badly against Leeds last time out. Your last away trip didn't end so well at the Hawthorns.
No.
What are your thoughts on Middlesbrough?
Well, to me, and this is McKenna and Carrick facing off against each other for the first time since they both went into management themselves, having left the sidelines at Old Trafford. That'll be interesting. I would like to think that we have enough about us to get a result at Middlesbrough. They are a decent team, and their form hasn't been particularly consistent, and that's where we're just going to have to go there. I mean, we can't afford to play like we did against West Brom. We need to go there with our game plan and be sharper, hit Middlesbrough as quick as we can, get that first goal. We've noticed that when we score early, we kind of cruise. When we let a goal in early, then if the resilience is good enough, we can get something. But like at West Brom, it floored us really. And again, Birmingham, and we struggled to get the result there. And again at Rotherham.
Okay, let's get a score prediction then from Iain. You've been pretty spot on last couple of weeks.
Yeah, it really is about not conceding a goal, but I do think Middlesbrough have the ability to do that. I'm going to have to go with a 1-1 draw, I think. I just would love for us to get an away win, but I just think it's one of those ties where Middlesbrough, they've got a good atmosphere at the stadium as well, and they'll be seeing Ipswich as a big club. It'll bring everybody up, and it'll be like a really good atmosphere. But I think 1-1 draw would be a good result on the road at Middlesbrough, which would take.
Great. Well, I wish you well. Enjoy your trip up there. Stay warm. It's a bit chilly up on the Riverside there.
Yeah. Long drive up the A1 for me. Yeah.
Yeah. Cheers, Ian. We'll catch you next week.
Right.
And of course, we've got
Cheers.
a big one to talk about next week.
Oh yes, I remember that. Yeah.
All right. See you next week. Cheers, on.
Cheers.
Nice one.